Welcome to DittDott. My name's Amanda Dittlinger, and in tonight's video, we are going to be making this amazing chicken katsu with a lemon ginger aioli and sauteed bok choy and spinach. So to get started making this chicken katsu, which is basically a fancy way of saying Japanese fried chicken, we are going to fillet, like remove any of the skin that your chicken breast might have still on it, or like fatty pieces, and then you're going to fillet the chicken breast like I'm showing you here. And next we need to flatten. I don't have a meat mallet in my kitchen. I did at one point many years ago, but it got lost and it's just something that I never replaced. I don't really like one-use appliances or gadgets in my kitchen a lot of times, and I find using the back of my knife works perfectly fine. You can also use the edge of a thick, sturdy glass, or if you've got a meat mallet, then use a meat mallet. But it's really important to get the chicken nice and thin. Basically, we want really thin chicken that we're gonna bread, and it's gonna get nice and crispy. So I also filleted it. If you don't fillet the chicken, it's going to take too long to cook, and it's actually just a different recipe. Fried chicken's like moist and juicy. Chicken katsu is kind of still moist, but it's also just, it's like got a more crunchy texture to it because it's so thin. I'm gonna finish this up and we'll be right back. So my chicken is all pounded down flat, and I'm gonna make a quick little spice rub to put on them. Gonna use salt, pepper, some garlic powder. This isn't garlic salt, it's just dried garlic powder. And then I'm actually gonna put some of this in this flour that I have here too. Forgot when I do the salt. Double it up, and pepper. And then I have some ginger powder here. Nope, that's onion powder. Let me get the ginger powder. And since I have the onion powder out, I'm probably gonna use it too. You'll find on my channel that I never cook the same thing twice, and I always make things up as I go. So I'm actually kind of low on the ginger powder, but I'm gonna go ahead and use that in both places too. It smells so good. It's kind of got a spiciness to it. Almost kind of tickles your nose a little bit. And then I will go ahead and use onion powder because why not? Why not? You'll see me cleaning up as I go. I even do that when I'm not on camera, because cleaning up as you go when you are cooking makes things just so much easier at the end. Something that as a new cook many years ago, I didn't, and then at the end you'd have like this huge mess, and it's always overwhelming. But if you can kind of clean up as you go, take the time, then at the end it's not as overwhelming. So I'm only gonna be breading 3 of these chicken cutlets because my husband is doing keto. So I'm just gonna quickly cook his chicken first without breading. And so I don't need that much. This isn't the kind of meal that usually I like to, like, I'm not really big into doing fried food because of the process it takes to do all the breading and all of that. But every once in a while, it's just yummy and fun. And tonight I decided, why not? It'll be good. So I've got an egg over here. And so I'm getting all this set up before I season my chicken, because I'm trying to minimize how often I have to wash my hands between everything. So I'm going to mix this flour and seasoning in together, and then scramble up this egg, adding a little bit of water too. Now, if I was doing more than just 3 cutlets, I would probably do 2 or 3 eggs. So mix up my seasonings. I'm gonna make sure I get my husband's well seasoned because he doesn't get any of the breading. And the reason why I've mixed it up in a bowl here again is so I don't have cross contamination. between my seasoning jars and flipping and handling this chicken, I can just use up all of this seasoning and then put this in the sink. Rub it in, give it a nice, good massage. Okay, I'm gonna do a complicated breading process. I'm gonna do flour, egg, breadcrumbs. So the flour is going to dry off this chicken. And this is gonna give us a really nice crispy coating. So also what I'm doing is I'm tapping off all of the flour that I can. Like I want the barest coating on my first one. So I'm gonna dip it into my egg. And again, I want as much of this egg to come off of my chicken, back into the flour. This is going to give us, like I said, really good, crispy chicken. Again, get as much off as you can, back into the egg. It's getting thick. And then into our breadcrumbs. And these are panko breadcrumbs. It's a special Japanese style, very crispy panko coating. So I basically just doubled the width of my chicken breast with all of that breading. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this aside and do that to the other 2 chicken breasts. Okay, so normally you would get your pan very hot before you put your chicken in. But again, I'm keeping my husband separate because of the no breading for a keto diet. But I'll show you what his looks like. So it's almost done. I already flipped it once. It's gonna cook very quickly because it's so thin. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove it. Just trying to drain off a little bit of the excess fat, because I did go ahead and cook it in some I'm using avocado oil today. You could use coconut oil. And then for the breaded ones, you want to put down a decent amount. You don't want to overcrowd the pan. These are very big because of how thin we pounded them out. So I'm only going to put 2 in at a time. And I'm going to drop it in and put it away from me. Oh, that should be hotter than that. Okay. Because I just put in fresh oil, I forgot to let the temperature get back up to heat. So it'll be okay because it's still really hot. But normally, as soon as you put that chicken in, you want to hear it sizzling. So I'm going to do that again. It'll also help it from preventing to so you want to hear that. So I'm only going to do 2 at a time because, well, that's all that's going to fit, and we don't want to overcrowd. Otherwise, you will have steamed breadcrumbs. And I'm gonna guess about 5 minutes per side, but I'm not really sure. I'm just gonna keep an eyeball on it, and I wanna get a nice, good coloring. So I'm gonna just let this side cook without messing with it, because otherwise your breading will come off, and then we'll flip it in a few minutes. Okay, normally I would take the camera back over there to show you how to make a sauce, but I wanna keep my eye really close on these, so I don't wanna turn my back to my stove. So I'm only gonna make a little bit because out of my family, I'm the only one who's gonna wanna eat this sauce, I guarantee it. My kids are probably gonna go for ketchup, but that's okay. You know what? I don't force, I usually will ask my kids to try something, but I don't make them eat something that they don't like. So I'm just making a simple lemon sauce. So I've got a fresh lemon. If you don't have a lemon and you just wanna use some lemon juice, all we're really doing is mixing some mayonnaise and lemon and a touch of soy sauce, and it's going to be a nice, yummy lemon aioli. Like I said, if you don't have a fresh lemon, skip the lemon zest, it'll be fine. All right, I'm gonna go ahead, check this. It should be able to come up without sticking at all. If it feels like it's gonna wanna stick, then leave it in there. But look at that beautiful color. Beautiful. So I've got my lemon zest and mayonnaise, and then I'm just gonna squeeze some of the lemon juice in here and stir it up. Oh, and then add a little soy. It's not even a full squeeze. I'm gonna save this and then maybe put it in my water or something. I'm gonna lower the heat on this because it's getting a little smoky and I don't want to burn my chicken before it cooks through. So just a splash of soy, stir it up, and then we'll taste it. Oh, this is getting really hot. All right, I'm gonna just turn it off for a minute, let it cool down. That's so good. Oh, I want to put some ginger in here too. Okay, so I keep my ginger in the freezer. You can kind of even see a little frost on it. It will stay for, I think, 4 months in the freezer, maybe even longer. I know I've used it longer than that, but I think that's what the internet says. So I'm gonna grate some fresh ginger into this sauce too. Taste it again. Oh yeah, that cooks it up so much better. Okay, now I'm gonna check the firmness of this chicken, and I can tell it is done. I'll get this last one cooked up, and then we're gonna make a vegetable side dish to go along with this dinner. But look how crispy, and oh my gosh, guys, this is just amazing. Now remember, my skillet is off, so I gotta remember to turn it back on for this last one. And then do a little cleanup, like I said, clean up as we go. And I didn't even need to add any more oil because there was plenty still in the skillet. Okay, so the side dish that I'm gonna do is a ginger sauteed bok choy, but I don't know if y'all have caught up on some of my recent videos. I recently got diagnosed autism and ADHD, and I had a big ADHD moment at the grocery store. I wrote bok choy on my grocery list, and I bought one tiny little bok choy. That's not gonna feed a family of 4 when it sautés down. So to improvise, I bought a bunch of spinach for another meal later this week. So I'm going to mix my bok choy and my spinach. So talk about just make it work moment. So we want to get this nice and cleaned up. I'm going to cut off the end. And if you have little kids, this makes a beautiful painting. You dip this down into like purple or pink or red, and then make a stamp, and it makes a beautiful rose art for those moms with toddlers out there. Every time I cut into a bok choy, I think of making rose art with my kids when they were little. Okay, so, and then I'm gonna take this over to the sink and kind of wash down, because sometimes dirt can get trapped down into the ends here. Okay, so I got the last of my chicken out, and I removed most of the oil. I'm gonna put a little bit of fresh oil because I kind of took out more than I meant to. And then I'm just gonna give this bok choy a rough chop on some of these bigger pieces. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it into bite-size pieces. I'm gonna put this on low because it's still really hot. Add some garlic. This will come together really quickly, which is good because we don't want our chicken to get too cold. So add in garlic, bok choy, which was wet, so it's hot. The spinach. Get this pan cooled down. It's way hot right now. Remember, spinach cooks down to almost nothing. So you need to put more in than you think you're gonna need. Okay, I don't want that garlic to burn on the bottom, so I'm gonna kind of stir it around. Add some ginger straight to the pan. Now, adding a squeeze of that lemon juice would be really good in here, but again, my kids don't really love lemon, so I'm just gonna leave that out. I can add some to my plate if I wanna add a little citrus burst. But I'm gonna add in this ginger. Make sure we add salt, pepper, a little bit of soy, just a tad bit. And we just want to kind of wilt down the spinach and the bok choy and call it a day. Oh wait, I have some carrots too. Ha, see, ADHD moment. Figure I might as well use up some of these carrots that I also bought for a slaw that I cooked earlier in the week. And I got it on low. I'm just going to cook it for a few minutes, and then we will plate and give everything a taste. First off, before we taste, I wanted to show that cleaning up as you go makes a big difference. Yes, I've got some dirty dishes in the sink from what I've cooked, and I need to clean up my skillet, but again, making fried chicken can sometimes be overwhelming, feel like it's a big messy dinner, but cleaning up as you go makes a huge difference. Anyway, here's the dinner. Let's give it a taste. Oh my gosh, this just looks like I ordered it from a restaurant. I cannot wait to taste it with y'all. So I cut it up because a lot of times chicken katsu is served in little thin slices like this, so I figured why not, right? And you can see the levels of breading and the white chicken meat. It's crunchy, and the lemon and the ginger. This is so tender. I love it. Oh my God, I love this. Okay, let's try the veggies. I wish I'd bought more bok choy at the store, but I did what I did, and you make it work. That is so much better than I thought it would even be. I thought it'd be good, but oh my gosh, that is really good. I love the ginger and the soy. It's such a simple dish. The vegetable came together in like 2-3 minutes. The chicken's still warm. Healthy, yummy, delicious dinner. I mean, yeah, it's fried chicken, but we don't do that very often. All right, I'm gonna calm my family down. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one, guys. Bye.